Check it out. Side of the road, and all of the ground is just absolutely covered in these grass seeds. And these are the seeds that come off of this grass right here. Let me pull one off. So see how they have this curlicue on the end. This kind of allows them to blow and collect all over the place on the ground. But I'll show you that. Look at the seed. The seed on the end, it's almost like a sewing needle. It is extremely sharp, and they're extremely rigid, so they will poke right into stuff. And this is what the dogs get a lot of stuff poked in them this time of year. Also, anybody who walks through this grass with shorts on, you're going to get these stuck in your leg. And it's got like a toxin in it that will it raises up a welt once you get stuck with it. So, but anyway, I thought I'd show you that. It's just wicked. And there are, trillions of these things all over the ground, everywhere. Oh. So I'm up this morning, 6 a.m. out here in the greenhouse doing my chores. 41 degrees again this morning. Just ridiculous. I mean, it's almost July. It just will not warm up here at night. It's crazy. But anyway, show you. Look at all the flies that are all over the inside of this thing. So you see those little tiny flies? Those are called no-see-ums. And they sting. They bite just like a mosquito. They're terrible. But that's what's been biting all of us. I guess right now they're all asleep. Okay, back to watering. So I got a bunch of stuff coming up over here, so I still got to go through and do some more thinning. And here's what I do with the thinning. So like right here, I put in 2 seeds. There's 2 that popped up. I'm just going to snip just 1. Right here, it looks like I put in 3 seeds. Same thing over here. I'm just going to thin these down. These are all beets. Yep, got to thin them down. Thin them down. There we go, just like that. Reach over and do those. There we go. That's how it's done. Or at least that's how I do it. Yeah, it's a little time consuming, but gardening is time consuming. It takes a little bit of time to go through and do this. That's okay. I got lots of time. I think I'm going to wait till a few of those get bigger. So over here, this is like ideal size. So these are Boston pickling cucumbers. So I'm going to go through and snip and snip. And I planted more than I need in case if some of these didn't come up. And then I'll show you, there's some natural purslane that's coming up, and I'm going to let this grow. We will eat this too. Purslane is it's a superfood if you don't know what it is. All right, let me get back in here and snippity snip. Gotta be real careful. That's why I got scissors like these, because you can use the point to separate stuff. You know, I'm no expert, but this is how I've figured out to do it. Reach over there and snip. Okay, I'm gonna reach across here and give a little snip and a little snip. And looks like there's only one more back here that's got 2. So I planted 2 seeds in each one. Some people say you should do 3 or 4. And not all my seeds came up. One didn't come up there. One didn't come up there. One didn't come up over there. I think I had a grasshopper in here. I've been trying to kill them, but I've had a couple of grasshoppers and 1 cricket. I think I've gotten them all, but you know, when they get in here, they will eat the baby stuff that's coming up. That's part of it. That's why I planted so many. It looks like over here, looks like I got a little bit of the broccoli that's already starting to come up. Yeah, it's a late season this year, for me at least. Temperatures have just remained really cold. Made it a little bit tough for germination. I mean, the 28th of June and it's 41 degrees inside of a greenhouse. It's ridiculous. Looks like a number of kale and different stuff is starting to come up over here. Yeah, I gotta thin these down before they get any bigger. That way they can turn into some delicious kale. I love kale. Alright, there we go. There we go. There we go. Yeah, something's over here been eating my leaves. I see a few that have been eaten. I think maybe I'm going to let some of these get a little bit bigger before I go thinning them out. Something's in here eating stuff. Like I said, I think I've gotten all the grasshoppers and crickets and stuff. Oh, there's one of those bugs. Sorry, dude. You're getting cut in half. He might have been eaten. He might have been eating in here too. Yeah, it looks like some of these are just barely starting to come up. There's a whole bunch of lettuce and cabbage over here. I finally had to water in the evening. It just gets too dried out here during the day. I mean, I've been putting 60 gallons of water on this greenhouse every day. So it's been 2 weeks now, so I'm hoping to see some more germination. We reorganized the shipping container and disassembled the shelves and moved them down to the end and disassembled the bench and the shelf above it. And check this out, it created two workbenches. So now Sue has her own bench, 8 foot long, which is right here. And then, I also put, check this out everybody, I gave Sue her own vise. So she's got a vise, and I gave her some tools, the ones that she wanted. Hung them up there, gave her some hooks. And then here's my workbench. Got my vise, got my welding generator down there, air compressor, all the tools that go with it. Finally have all my tools hung up, all my Ryobi stuff, all my fasteners. I got a whole bunch of screws and stuff like that. I got all my fasteners out where I can get to them and see them. I got more extra nuts and bolts and stuff. Some of these old school organizers, I got one that's full of O-rings, 2 that are full of machine screws. Finally got my bench grinder out, all my other 110 power tools, all my staplers where I can finally find them easily. Finally everything's out and to where I can get to it easily. So it's going to make doing projects a lot better. And then I still have my rollaway toolbox, which is kind of a mess. It's got a whole collection of a bunch of different things in there. But I finally, when I was going through all my tools, I completely forgot I had 2 Dremels down there. So I have one of them's got that whole snake thing that you put on it that makes it, I don't know, you can take the Dremel and like draw like a pencil with it and stuff. So I don't know, but it's pretty cool. Finally got all my welding stuff since I started doing some welding again. Finally got all my welder and all my stuff organized, and I got all the extra stuff with my grinder all put in a tray where I can get to all the parts real easy. And I was at a store yesterday in Flagstaff, and they had a better set of Tillman welding gloves, so I bought those. Kind of burned my hand when I was welding Scotty's tractor because I had the welder on such a high setting, and you know, I work best when I keep, you know, my hand real close for support, and I was getting burned through the glove. I was surprised I was getting burned through the glove. This is the one area I have not organized yet. This is my automotive section, and it is an absolute disaster. But I will tend to that. I'm not done putting everything together. We're working on getting another small outdoor storage area going, and more to come on that. I have this old set of tires for the Razor that are basically brand new, but they're real skinny and have a whole different traction profile than the ones that are on there. And I was thinking about putting those on there and running around the track, but I need to get a set of lug nuts for it, and I just keep forgetting to order them. I think it's going to be around $40 or $50 or something, so I just keep forgetting to do it. One of these days I'll do that and make a video of that. That'll be pretty cool. Come on, let's go. Good girl, come. Good girl, come. Look at this. Look at this place behind me. It's just what it looks like out here. It's amazing. It almost looks like the Serengeti. It's very hard to see animals out here now. We still have a bunch of coyotes coming around here almost every day, and honestly, I can't see them. It's getting real hard to It's getting really hard to hunt. Is that what you want to do? You want to hunt for bunnies? You want to go get a bunny? Huh? Do you want to go get a bunny? What? Huh? Huh? Do you want to go get a bunny? Huh? Huh? Where is it? Where's the bunny? Where's the bunny? Huh? Let's go get it. Come on. Let's go get a bunny. Come on. Let's go. Yeah. Now every day when I walk down into that big clearing of trees right over there, there's been elk there every morning. There are fresh tracks, and me and Scout see them probably about 2 or 3 days a week, and we see the tracks every day. It's amazing to think that, you know, within a half mile of our property there are elk every single day. So a lot of people lately have been asking about the treatment center that they were going to build next to us. Well, so far we haven't heard from them, which I imagine is a really good thing. We have not heard anything other than early last fall they said that coming up this spring in April they were going to hold a meeting up here and allow all the residents to meet with them and give them all of our opinion and concerns about what they want to do. Never happened. My guess is this. If you think about this, okay, they want to build a 30-bed treatment center. Okay, we're talking about an entire facility, okay, off-grid with a septic system for over 30 people. Okay, you got to think about the steel that's going to go into construction like that. I think that their budget of $1.5 million is grossly under budgeted. I think that in my experience in construction, a facility that large, especially off-grid, and providing their own solar, water, and a septic system that large out here, and the fact that they're going to have to make road improvements to be able to get the building materials in here, that's more like $3 million or $4 million. I think the building materials alone are probably over $2 million. Just look into basic construction. Let's put it this way. Up in Oregon, when I stopped doing heating in 2013, we were working on a 3,700 square foot house, okay? And the cost of the building materials alone was $750,000, okay? This is a 30-bed treatment facility that's going to be 2-story, off-grid, with a septic system. A septic system for 2 people out here runs about $25,000 to $30,000. For 30 people, that's probably $250,000 septic system. Solar for a place that big, you're looking at $100,000. The steel in the building alone, I guarantee you, just the girders and framework and the crane and what it's going to take to get all that in place is probably another $250,000. You haven't even touched on the rest of the building materials yet, or all the different contractors that are going to have to come in here. I mean, you're looking at 25 different contractors. That's a big job site. $1.5 million in the city, yeah. Out here, no. So, and the fact that we haven't heard from them, I think means that their balloon has been popped, it's deflating, and they're losing steam. We were coming back on Highway 180 the other day, and I noticed that there was pretty much nobody camped anywhere in the forest, not just in the locations close to Flagstaff. I don't know if that's because they're doing controlled burns or if they're starting to close the forest down. I'll tell you, I have kind of an interesting perspective. Some of my friends don't always understand why me and Sue in the summertime do not want to leave here and go camping locally here in the forest. Well, you know, I used to live here back in the early 90s. We lived in Flagstaff for 5 years. I spent a lot of time out in the forests around Flagstaff, all around. Some camping, hiking, shooting, and cutting firewood. The destruction that I see in the forest now around here, it's heartbreaking. And the only difference I see between now and then, I don't see any more or less local people using the forest now than I did back then. Of the local people I know in Flagstaff, I don't know any more or less of them using the forest than was back in the 90s. The big difference I see, we have nomads. They're everywhere. You can't go anywhere in any of the forests around here and not see overuse, roads that are trashed, garbage, vegetation that's been affected or cut down that shouldn't be, people staying longer than they should, leaving abandoned vehicles, abandoned RVs, abandoned trailers. I mean, Aja just made a video showing exactly what I'm talking about. It's disgusting, and honestly, it's ruined it for me. Imagine wherever you grew up, you probably had some local wooded area or forest that was close by. Imagine if that was overrun with people when you come back 25 years later and it's completely trashed. Would you want to go out? Would you want to go out and camp in the forest? I can't help it. I've kind of lost my will to do it. It's not hard for me to go camp in other areas that are not where I grew up or lived around, and I can see these things and it doesn't bother me. One, because I don't have a point of reference, okay? I don't have a past that I was there when I saw there was no damage and there was no abuse, to now where there is nothing but damage and abuse everywhere. And I mean, I know this is going to probably piss a lot of people off out there in YouTube that are going to hear this, but honestly, I hope they close all the forests in northern Arizona for at least 5 years to all nomads and all camping. Just close them all down. Let's give these forests a chance to re-heal. So yeah, I mean, it's sad to see things get closed down, but at the same time, it has been earned. It's been earned by this community. There you go.